Hey, welcome to Yo-Yo Talk. I've got a lot to cover tonight, so I'm going to jump right in. In a few moments, I'm going to be showing you the 10 finalists for the National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame for 2022. This you'll be voting for. The voting will be starting as soon as we get the link up. Sean, do we have the link up already by chance? Or
it'll be posted after the show.
It'll be posted after the show. So that will be in the Academy for Yo-Yo Arts. So anybody that's a member of the Academy of Yo-Yo Arts is eligible to vote. You can join the Academy of Yo-Yo Arts by going to the Facebook page and signing into the group. We will only accept members that have been involved in the yo-yoing community for over 5 years, and they should have contributed something to the sport, like participated in a reasonably high-level competition like state championships, or been a judge or something. We're going to vet you if we don't know who you are. So please join and vote for who you feel should be this year's 3 inductees into the National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame. I'm going to go over and list the 10 finalists a little bit later in the show. We also have a special guest tonight, Dennis Shatter. Dennis is one of the top two-hand yo-yo players in the United States, and he's been competing and judging for over 20 years. He's going to give us some insight in what judges look for in yo-yo competitions, and he's going to show us some of our famous yo-yos, and we're just going to have a general chit-chat overall, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And we also have a couple companies that have sent in some new videos of their releases that are coming out soon or are already out, and I'm going to show you what's shaking with that. Also, a reminder for anybody that has a new yo-yo getting ready to be released and wants to get a little bit of free publicity, go on and send me a short video and we'll see what we can do to get it promoted on the show. And again, we do this show all for fun. There's no money involved, so if we can help you out with your yo-yos, we'd love to help. I did a little bit of trading with Ron Mawston. I'll show you what kind of trades we did, and of course, at the end of the show, we will have our trivia contest. We'd like you to sign in right now, as we only have 20 slots available. So once those are filled, they are filled. It'll be 5 questions, multiple choice style. A lot of it is luck, so anybody has the possibility of winning. Of course, if you know a lot of yo-yo trivia, you have an advantage. And I'll be showing the prize package this week in just a couple minutes here. Before I go any further, I just want to announce that the National Yo-Yo Championships are scheduled for June 30th through July 2nd. That'll be in Mesa, Arizona. So mark those days as red letter days on your calendar. Yo-Yo Talk will be there, so we hope to see you all at Nationals. And I'd like to remind everybody to bring your yo-yos for trade, because that's half the fun at being a national championship, is getting together with old friends and doing a little bit of yo-yo trading. And of course, I'm going to have a bunch of yo-yos with me for trade, so bring your yo-yos. And remember, you don't have to have high-end yo-yos to trade. Junk yo-yos, souvenir yo-yos, advertising yo-yos, those are all tradable. So you stick them in your bag before you leave home. Okay, before we get any further in the show, I want to show you what we will be playing for in the trivia contest. Sean, go on and run that little video clip of our prize.
Okay, these are the prizes that the winner of our trivia contest will get. Tonight, all you have to do is answer 5 questions correctly and fast, and you could win this good stuff. And I want to point out, you can't go out and buy this stuff in a store or online. This stuff you either had to be at the contest to get, or it's a specialty item like this Pedro Flores mug. Pedro Flores, of course, is the father or godfather of all yo-yos. And just about everything that's yo-yo related can be traced back to Pedro Flores. So this is quite a neat item to have for your collection. Pedro Flores mug, never been sold, only been given as awards to contest directors, etc. This next yo-yo that is up for grabs is a 2001 yo-yo from the World Yo-Yo Championships, which were held in Orlando, Florida. This is a Spintastics model. And again, these are great yo-yos to have because they're dated and they just keep going up in value. So this yo-yo is over 20 years old now. So a very nice addition to the collection, especially if you like collecting these national and world yo-yos. And speaking of national championship yo-yos, our next item is a yo-yo from the 2022 National Yo-Yo Championships. This was held in Mesa, Arizona, and this will be the site for the 2023 National Yo-Yo Championships as well. Of course, if you weren't there, this would be a great addition to your collection. I love these national and world championship yo-yos as collectible items.
All right, that's what we have for the prize package for the trivia contest tonight. So please sign in just as soon as Sean gets that link up. Again, we only have 20 slots, so don't be shy. Go on and sign in. Life's too short not to be a little bit aggressive and have a little bit of fun. And like I said, a lot of these questions are questions that you just kind of randomly may get by luck. I know we've got, I've seen some names of people that have commented: Jason Katz, Dano the Mano, John Bozung, all of them are in the room. If you're watching, don't be shy. Go on and put a little comment in there. Let us know that you're watching, and it starts some interesting discussion too, and things come up.
We got a question.
Oh, question, okay.
Here, let me put my mic on. I'll read it out loud to you and the audience.
Sure.
Lucky, what's more rare, an original Duncan Lightning or the Franklin Mint version? Dano asks.
Hey, that's a good question. What's more rare, the original Lightning or the reproduction Franklin Mint? Or now you're going to hear about another Lightning too a little bit later in the show. I think there are fewer of the Franklin Mint out there Lightnings than there are of the original Lightning, just because they didn't make many of those Franklin Mint ones, and they made a bunch of the regular Lightnings. So collectible value though, the original Lightning still, I think, has the Franklin Mint Lightning kind of beat. But there is going to be another Lightning, and we'll show you that in a little bit, so you'll have to watch and see what I'm going to show you about that. Also, for everybody watching, if you are following us on Twitch, the viewing is just a little bit better than, say, YouTube or Facebook. We're happy to have you watch whatever app you're on, but we found that with our software that we're using now, that Twitch seems to give us the most features and the best viewing for the show. And if you are using Twitch, we're hoping in the future to be able to pull audience members on the live show in future episodes. So it's a good feature to have. So think about checking out Twitch. Apparently it's a very easy sign in to get on, and just put that in the back file there and think about that for the next show.
I will also say with that, I think we've grown with enough popularity that we have our first scammer in the comments, it looks like.
Oh, really? What was the...
Hi, I want to offer a promotion of your channel: viewers, followers, views, chatbots. The price is lower than any competition. The quality is guaranteed to be the best. Auto on, incredibly flexible and convenient.
Let's delete them and get them out. So but anyway, I don't know. That's maybe good for our total viewing audience views.
Maybe. Also, Dano had a follow-up question.
Oh, Dano does? Okay, what's his follow-up?
And that was a follow-up question: which is more durable?
Oh, I don't know. I've never thrown one of the Franklin Mint Lightnings. Those are like always in near mint condition, and one little scratch would pretty much ruin that. And I wouldn't throw a Lightning either. You know, the Lightnings are considered a major. A major is a yo-yo that is sold for $1,000 or more at an auction, and Lightnings back in the heyday of collecting were bringing over $1,000. Now they're not at that now, of course, but back in around 2000, if you wanted a nice minty mint Lightning, you were going to pay about $1,000 for it. So,
Dennis, you okay?
What's that?
No, you're good.
Oh, okay. So anyway, just to add another question to that, a lot of times I'm asked what the most difficult to acquire modern yo-yo is. And I gave this some deep thought, and there are some very expensive models out there, but that's just a matter of coming up with the coin. There are also models with short runs and, you know, the high-end competition models. But again, that comes down to who has the deep pockets. But there is one yo-yo that comes to mind that I think may be the hardest to acquire because you cannot buy it, you can only earn it. And you may be thinking, oh, well, that's one of those Golden Mile yo-yos that I give away for finishing the Golden Mile race that we have. But actually, there are hundreds of those made each year and awarded. So I would say that's not necessarily particularly difficult yo-yo to acquire. However, there is one yo-yo that is a milestone award yo-yo for those that swim 1,500 kilometers at Lucky's Lake Swim. And that's almost 1,000 miles of open water swimming. And we just had a swimmer recently earn that milestone yo-yo. So Sean, let's show that little clip there. All right, Mike Tall had a milestone today. He did 1,500
Yes.
now. This is his 1,500 crossings. That's 1,500 meters. That's over 1,000 miles. And the award for making 1,500 crossings is this yo-yo. And this yo-yo right here is probably the most difficult yo-yo to acquire because the only way you can get this yo-yo is to swim 1,500 crossings of this lake. And I don't think that anybody will let these go in a trade or a sale. I could be wrong. I will not sell or trade these even though I have them, because you have to earn this yo-yo. So if you want a truly, truly difficult yo-yo to acquire, this is the one. The Lucky's Lake Swim 1,500 meter crossing. That's over 1,000 miles. Congratulations,
All right.
Mike Paul.
Thank
There
you,
you
sir.
go.
Thank you, Lucky.
Throw it. Throw it.
Working?
Okay,
Down, down.
anytime now.
Come on.
All right, there you go. All right, I think he needs to stick to swimming. I don't think he has a future in yo-yoing. Now, as I've mentioned you, if you are a yo-yo company and would like to show some of your new releases, we're happy to show them on the show. Send me a short clip of the yo-yo and some commentary, and we'll let everybody know what you have for sale. One of our regular viewers, John Mystraw, has come out with a beautiful line of fixed axle yo-yos. And I will tell you, these look like they're going to be highly collectible in the future. So I want to check out this video he sent over for us.
Thanks, Lucky. For years, I've wanted to make a contribution to our incredible sport and hobby, and I hope I finally found a way. Ball bearing yo-yos are amazing, but the original wooden fixed axle yo-yo remains the greatest test for the skills of any experienced yo-yoer. Cajun Spinners is bringing today's generation their own fond memories by tapping into the past with handmade classic wooden fixed axle yo-yos with a Cajun twist. Earlier today, we launched the first 4 of many more to come, sold in limited quantities exclusively on eBay under the seller name of Cajun Spinners. You can choose from the 440 BC yo-yo, the Mardi Gras doubloon yo-yo, the Midnight Lightning yo-yo, and the genuine Le Immigrant yo-yo. The Lord willing, a new Cajun Spinners yo-yo will be released the first of each month. So be on the lookout and tell your friends. As we Cajun yo-yoers like to say, laissez tourner les bons temps, let the good times spin.
So, did you see those lightning yo-yos there? They were gorgeous, and that's what I was talking about. So, I think those yo-yos are fantastic. They are all very displayable yo-yos, and that adds kind of the third lightning now that people need to add if they're going to have all 3 of the lightnings. My only comment is, and I do have the shirt on. He was kind enough to, John was kind enough to send me the shirt. If you watch Yo-Yo Talk episode 17, I have completely debunked the Greek yo-yo myth. One of those yo-yos promotes the myth, the one that has this logo on it. It's certainly very collectible, and it's a beautiful yo-yo. But I don't believe what is being depicted on the yo-yo, that is the Greek boy playing a yo-yo. He is actually holding an eribalos on a leather thong, which was very common in Greece during that period. And there's other Greek artwork to suggest that's exactly what's going on. Regarding those Greek discs that they found and called yo-yos, I've also discussed them on that episode. Those are not yo-yos, folks, but those are most likely bobbins for holding thread. These were found in the burial vaults of adult women. And again, I've talked about this on episode 17. So if you want a little bit of history to shake up what has been repeatedly said over and over again and continues to be said throughout the yo-yo literature, check out episodes number 17. I have a different take on the supposition that the yo-yo was a Greek invention. I don't believe it was, and I think we've got pretty good evidence why it was not. But in saying that, that is a great looking yo-yo, and I'm glad to have it in my collection. You could have a yo-yo that says, "I love communism," and if it was a beautiful yo-yo, I would probably like it in my collection. So it's not necessarily the message, it's more about the yo-yo. So these are definitely going to be collectible in the future, and I would certainly pick up a set of these, and he is going to be releasing them periodically, so that'll give us something to live for, Now, I have another yo-yo that was sent in by Joseph Huvenart Cassidy. Huvenart is his, I guess, brand name. Here's photos of what he believes is an early model of the I say E-yo, but it's L-yo, E-L-yo for electric yo-yo. It was made in the 60s. It's a light-up yo-yo, certainly not the first light-up yo-yo ever made. You'll see them on eBay periodically using it in their box, and generally they sell in the $10 to $20 range, pretty much in mint condition. But he feels that this Pioneer yo-yo, which does have on the logo the E-L-Y-O that we're used to seeing, this yo-yo, he thinks, preceded the L-yo-yo, and it may be true. And if you look at the components in the yo-yo, and I think that's going to come up here in a second, you'll see that the EL yo-yo has plastic parts, and then the other yo-yo has metal parts. So this probably, and the bulb is a little bit different too. It looks like they both used the AAA batteries like they used to have instead of the button batteries that we have now. So anyway, and that makes sense that it might preceded, late 50s, because that's when the Daniel Boone, Davy Crockett craze was going on. He has a few items that he'd like to trade or sell for, or trade for that yo-yo. He would be willing to sell it for $1,000. I think that's a little bit pricey myself for a light-up yo-yo. The Duncan Big G light-up would be what I would consider the hottest light-up collectible yo-yo, and you can usually pick those up for less than $100 on eBay. However, if your passion is light-up yo-yos, maybe you'll see more value to it than I do. Joseph also has a website called Deviant Art where he sells custom designed yo-yos, so check that out as well. And Taylor Annie shot me over this video of their new bimetal yo-yo. The brand name is Wadiobo. Sorry if I'm screwing up the pronunciation on that. They really didn't send me much information, just a little video, so I have no idea what the price point is on this. I don't really have any other information. If any of our viewers have a chance to have thrown this yo-yo, please chime in with your comments. I find these, the modern bimetal yo-yos or metal yo-yos kind of have seemingly the same appearance. I know there's variations that make them more playable than others, but I don't actually have one of these in my collection, so I can't really comment more. But if they give me more information, I'd be happy to share that with you. Now, Ron Mawston, who's been a yo-yo collector for decades, stopped by my house a few weeks ago, and we did a bit of trading. And just a reminder, Dennis Shatter is our special superstar guest tonight's show.
All right,
and
so
we're going
we
to have a
had
little chat with
Ron
him once we
Mawston,
announce
a
the 10
fantastic yo-yo
finals.
collector. He showed me some of the pictures from his collection. He has some pretty amazing stuff. He had some great traders. I'll show you a close-up of this here in a second. We did a little trading, and the best part about trading is everybody goes away happy. They get stuff they didn't have. I get stuff I didn't have. And we traded for a sulfate marble, right? Yeah, so I happened to have a sulfate marble that he noticed, and sulfide, yes. Yeah. So you don't have to just trade yo-yos for yo-yos. You can trade other things for yo-yos too. So it was a lot of fun meeting Ron and Debbie, yes, and Debbie, and they're good folks. They're farmers, and we're happy that they came over and.
Okay, now it's time for what we've all been waiting for. Here are our 10 finalists for the 2022 National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame. Congratulations to all 10 finalists. It is truly a great honor just to be among the final 10. All these folks have been nominated by their peers and selected by current members of the National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame to be in those 10 finalists. Only 3 of these will end up being inductees for 2022. And let's roll that clip.
These are our 2022 top 10 finalists for the National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame. We will pick 3 of these individuals to be the inductees into the 2022 National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame. Jimmy Johnson, who is one of the 3 that got an automatic entry in the final 10 based on nomination. Stuart Crump, who was, of course, the editor of Yo-Yo Times and really helped create the craze of the late 90s. Fast Eddie McDonald, Guinness World Record holder, famous Canadian yo-yo player. Chuck Chort was a dynamic player, especially during the early craze years of the yo-yo. Mark McBride, considered the father of 3A yo-yo play and the author of the Yo-nomicron. Bob Malowney, who is the director of the National Yo-Yo Museum, is also multiple time director of the National Yo-Yo Championships for over 20 years. Jennifer Baybrook, the amazing female yo-yo player that was a national and world yo-yo champion in the 2A division. Brad Countryman, who is best known for the manufacture of yo-yos, being the brains behind not only Hummingbird yo-yos, but also BC yo-yos. John Higby, the famous street performer, also AP world champion. And Tommy Reyes, one of the great yo-yo demonstrators of the early years for Duncan and for Royal.
Well, all those folks are absolutely deserving to be the Hall of Fame inductees, so I know it's really hard to decide who to vote for, but I suspect sooner or later all of them will be in the Hall of Fame. So this is what you do to vote for these 3 inductees. You go to the Academy of Yo-Yo Arts Facebook page. If you're a member, you'll be able to sign in and go to the survey. You will take 3 choices, not 2, not 1, not 4, but you'll pick 3 people, and then we'll tally up the 3 with the most votes, and those will end up being our inductees for 2022. Now you may say, well, I'm not a member of the Academy of Yo-Yo Arts and I want to join. Can I still join and vote this year? Yes, you can. But we expect you to have been involved in the sport for at least 5 years and have contributed something to the sport. It's not somebody that's just been throwing a yo-yo for 5 years. So anyway, sign up for the Academy of Yo-Yo Arts. We will vet you if we don't know who you are, and hopefully you feel worthy enough to join and vote for our Hall of Fame inductees. And again, that's the Academy of Yo-Yo Arts on Facebook. Okay, we have a special guest tonight. We always like to have a superstar yo-yo player. And indeed, tonight we have another superstar. He is one of the top 2-hand yo-yo players in the United States. He's judged a ton of yo-yo contests. Dennis Shatter. Dennis, welcome to Yo-Yo Talk.
We're bringing him in now. We're bringing him in now.
Okay, Sean's working on getting him in. Are we online? I can hear you just fine, Dennis.
Can you hear me, Dennis?
Can you hear Sean, Dennis?
Okay.
We are having some...
So
Still nothing.
we're having a little technical difficulty.
Your microphone's probably muted. Remember the same thing from before?
Okay.
See that button right there?
Okay. All right.
Okay,
That was
there we
on
go.
me. That was on me. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right. Great. So,
Might want to move over so you're not half cut.
oh, okay. So anyway, well, anyway, hey, let's just start with, how did you get started with yo-yos? How old were you when you started throwing a yo-yo?
So I was 10 years old. I was in 5th grade in Mrs. Plungis's 5th grade class, and we had a assembly one day. The guy's name was Dave Faree from Arizona. He was on Team Playmax, and his routine was so extraordinary, and it just blew me away. I was actually a part of one of the tricks that he did. He was doing juggling with one hand and loops with another hand. And one of the juggling balls got thrown to me, and he wanted me to throw it back to him. And it was just great. He gave all the kids a little coupon to go up to Ryder's Hobby Shop and get a yo-yo.
But you could have been a juggler then, too. So it was kind of a toss-up.
Yes, he did so many cool things. Yes,
but
he
you
did so
chose
many
the
cool
right
things.
thing. You chose the right thing.
So I went up to Ryder's Hobby that day. I got my very first Yomega Brain.
Ah, cool.
And I still have it. I love it. And I've been doing it ever since. One thing that really helped me was having a community locally. We would go up to Westland Mall, which is a local mall near me. That's where I met one of my best friends, Jake Malowney. And we got to yo-yo in the basement of this mall, and you would do little tricks on a little sheet, and you'd get a little prize from the Yo-Yo Universe kiosk upstairs. And that was just a lot of fun.
Cool. That there's looks like a little photo of you, probably one of the early years of you starting to play the yo-yo. You said you were about 12 when you started, or was that when when you were in your first contest?
I started when I was 10, and then I started competing when I was 12.
And that was, I think you told me that was around 1999. What was that contest?
The first contest I ever went to was the Cajun Spinners Classic 2 in Meadowbrook Mall in Meadowbrook, Michigan. And that was hosted by my mentor, Dennis Grisiak. He was a great teacher. He loved to throw yo-yos and teach kids how to do it. And one of the cool things is he would go up to Ryder's Hobby and kind of be the guy to ask. He would ask questions. He'd teach you stuff. He'd give you a string if you didn't have one. And he was just a great resource and a great guy. And,
now, was he a Playmax demonstrator, or was he what company? There he is, right there. Is that, I believe?
Officially, I don't think he was on Team Playmax. I could be very wrong. I just think at the end of the day, he was just a great guy. I don't know if he was sponsored by anybody or if he was, working for
just
anybody.
Into yo-yos. That's great.
I just think that's what it was. I could be very wrong.
Is he still around? Is he still involved in the yo-yo community?
I'd love to be able to say I've spoken with him recently. I haven't seen him in, maybe 8 years. We had a barbecue in his backyard, and we had a big pig roast. I haven't heard from him in a long time. I hope he's still around and doing well, and I would like to hear from him.
Cool. So you were pretty into yo-yos when you were younger. You were telling me you were practicing 8 hours a day back in the day when you were kind of at top of your skill level. Now, how high did you finish in competitions?
So what really helped me was I got first place in my division at the Cajun Spinners Classic, and that really helped my self-esteem. I just kept going from there. I went to nationals, and my very first worlds in 2001. I was at the Michigan State Yo-Yo Contest in 2000 and 2001. And of course, the Mideast Regionals held by the Malowneys was very integral in helping me build my confidence and my stage prowess and my love for yo-yos overall. The best I've ever done back when I was a serious competitor in the heyday was in 2002 was my kind of best year. I got 5th at nationals, 1st at Michigan States, 1st at Mideast Regionals.
Now, was that in the 1A division, was it not?
That was in 1A. And back then, I could do 2A just A little bit. I never competed in 2A up until 2016. I started doing 2A on stage.
What got you kind of interested in 2A? I mean, what was that transition from, you know, I know the 1A is really the hot division, but I think 2A is more visual, if you will, and they're bigger tricks, if you will. They draw more attention. What pulled you into 2A?
So 2A is a lot harder, in my opinion. Of course, 1A is difficult, but 2A has always kind of caught my eye. It's always been, you need to learn how to do everything two-handed. And I mean, some major people in my life that have really helped me love 2A. Connor Skolton was one of the big 2A players that has really helped me, and he's still teaching me how to learn 2A techniques. Just this past weekend, we were working on stuff in Pittsburgh when I was at the Steel City Throwers Contest. And why I still do it is because I think it's kind of dying, and I don't want it to die. I want it to just flourish. And so every year at Nationals, I compete to just have fun and get up there and show how much fun it can be. And I just love it. I love all the divisions, but I like doing 2A myself.
Now, you're a Carvana truck driver, so how does your yo-yoing skills help you with your job?
How does it help me with my...
Just kidding. Just kidding.
It's
I had to throw you a curveball there. You were doing so good. I had to get you off here.
It's hard to yo-yo while driving the truck, but it's not impossible.
Well, did you ever have a dream of like just becoming a pro yo-yo demonstrator and just doing that for a living? I mean, there's a handful of guys out there that do that. Is that ever kind of crossed your mind?
Yes, I mean, it has crossed my mind. One of the biggest names, I think, is Dave Schulte. He's just the greatest of all time, in my opinion. Dale Oliver, Dave Schulte, Dennis McBride. I don't know if I have the it factor. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I have the same personality to be doing that all day, every day, like they do, because that's very admirable, and I love it. I just like doing it on the side. I like if someone wants me to do a show on the side, I'll definitely help participate in that. But doing it all day, every day as a job, I don't know if I would be suited for that personally.
So, although you're a great yo-yo player, you're probably better known in the yo-yo community as being a judge. And we were talking about this earlier. How many contests do you think you've judged in over the years?
I tried to count, and I'd say a good conservative number would be in the 50s.
That's incredible. And let me tell you, for the folks that are watching that are just players that have never judged, it is a thankless job, and we owe a big debt of gratitude for the guys like Dennis who are there all the time, helping judge these contests, traveling and all that. It makes the sport happen. So thank you for all you do with that. That's
welcome,
just amazing.
I love it.
Now,
I love it.
I think a lot of viewers would like to know what you look for when you're judging. When that person gets up on stage, what is kind of some of the top things that go through your mind as you're looking at these players? What racks up the points, so to speak?
Sure. Well, first thing I would say to all players and potential future players is to be professional on stage. When you walk up on stage, you want to be in the zone. You don't want to be goofing around. You don't want to just be looking at your friends the whole time and making them giggle and laugh. And I think we really have done a great job of getting over that hump. For a couple years, there were, a lot of guys that were just up there to goof around. But really, it's gotten so much better in that regard. When I see contestants on stage, they're there to compete. They've practiced, and they want to do the best they can. Now, when they're on stage, as a judge, what I'm looking for, I mean, if I'm the clicker judge or if I'm the performance evaluation judge, I'm looking for kind of the same things. But when I'm clicking, I'm looking for string hits. I'm looking for changes of direction of the yo-yo.
Let me pause you there for a second, because not everybody understands. There are actually two components to judging. One is the basically the technical component, and the other is kind of the performance evaluation. And so anyway, tell us a little bit about the difference between the two and how the judging is set up, because not all judges are judging the same things when you see that row of judges up
right there. So usually let's use nationals as a good example. You'll have 4 to 5 judges on one side of the camera, 4 to 5 judges on the other, and there's 2 different types of judges. There's performance evaluation judges that are looking for things like cleanliness, execution of string tricks, your body movements, and music use. How is your yo-yo moving to the music? How are you moving to the music? Those are all judged on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. And completely separately on the other side, you've got the technical evaluation judges, which have a clicker in one hand, a positive clicker in one hand, and a negative clicker in the other hand. And what they're looking for and how they score is by when they see something they like, a trick element that's different, they'll give it positive clicks. And when they see a player mess up, maybe he missed an Eli hop, or he missed a string, he's trying to do a hook and he missed the yo-yo, you'll give a negative click for that. And at the end, all the scores are tabulated in a program, and everything is kind of weighted a little bit differently. So the performance evaluation judges, they weight about 40% of the final score, and the technical, which is the clickers, those are about 60% of your final score. So I like to relate it to turning in a paper in school. You wouldn't just turn in a paper and hope to get 60%. You want that extra 40. You want all of it. So not only are you doing really complex, complicated tricks, you need to perform to the audience and to the judges, not necessarily dancing, but if you look at some of the top players out there, their routines, they really add that little it factor with their movements, with their body language, the cleanliness of the yo-yo. And it's an entire whole routine. It's not just getting up there and doing hard tricks. You have to do all of it. And that's what all the judges are looking for every moment.
So is it possible to get a negative score? Without saying any names, of course.
Yeah. Yes, of course it is.
Have you seen a negative score?
Yes, I have. There's been a couple players.
Well, good for those people that get up on stage and get the negative score. That gives me hope then. That gives me hope.
A big part that I left out is while you're judging, you're looking for things. If the player has to rewind their yo-yo, that's a -1 off of your final score. If the player has to switch out a yo-yo mid routine, that's a -3 off of your final. And if the yo-yo detaches and goes into the audience, that's a -5.
And how much is it negative if the yo-yo goes off the string and hits a judge?
That's a -5. That's a -5.
Oh, there's no bonus negative for doing that, huh?
That happened there's a famous story out there with Dennis McBride. I don't remember exactly which contest it was, but a player was doing yo-yos and the yo-yo came off the string and hit him right in the chest. I mean, just as hard as it could. And he didn't flinch at all. He just was professional.
Dennis is a tough guy.
Yeah.
Those grand masters are tough dudes.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
I suspect Dennis has been hit in the head with a yo-yo many times with all the years he's done the yo-yoing. So Plymouth Yo-Yo Club is we had the little logo come up there. What days do you meet for the people that might be watching in your area?
Yeah, so Jake Malowney and I, we're the co-founders of the Downtown Plymouth Yo-Yo Club in Plymouth, Michigan. And Jake actually just took a job a few years ago up in Midland, Michigan. So he's up there rocking it. He's doing great up there. So now we have Nathan Smith and Nathan David. They are helping with the Yo-Yo Club right now.
Great.
And we meet on Thursday nights from 6 to 8 p.m. And then sometimes we'll go out to dinner afterwards and continue hanging out. And that's in Kellogg Park in downtown Plymouth, Michigan, when it's warm outside. right now in Michigan, it's nice and cold. So we meet at Laurel Park Mall near the food court. And that's a place where we've gone for years and years and years. And the mall lets us have fun, and we respect their space, and it's great.
What's the temperature there right now?
It's probably in the teens right now. It's frigid.
Yeah.
You can see your breath.
I can relate. It's like it was like 80, so it was pretty cold for us here. Yeah. Okay, so we got to know what A, your favorite 1A yo-yo is, and B, what your favorite 2A play yo-yo is.
Right. So my favorite 1A yo-yo that I'm using right now is the Checkpoint Pivot. It's a Yo-Yo Factory yo-yo that was made several years ago. I love it because it's got a great finger spinning bowl, and a lot of my kids at the yo-yo club, they love to have me put the yo-yo on their finger and do the DNA trick. And I just find it's really smooth. It's balanced. It just checks all the boxes, in my opinion. And for 2A, I like using the Sunrise by iYo-Yo. And those are just, you take them out of the package and they're just ready to go. It's perfect. I love it. And I mean, it's just beautiful.
Now, you also collect some yo-yos. What would you say, if you had to pick one yo-yo out of your collection, what would you say your favorite yo-yo is?
I would say my favorite yo-yo is the, if you can see that there, it's the Pro Yo 2. Mm-hmm. And I've had this yo-yo. It's not my first yo-yo, but it's one of my first yo-yos. And my mom would sit up with me, late nights. She'd have the old Duncan trick book, and she would talk me through how to do trapeze and all the beginner tricks, all the way up to split the atom I learned on a Pro Yo 2. And, they're still making them. They've got the Doc Lucky version now.
Of course,
and,
yeah.
But it's just a great yo-yo. I've always loved it. Back in the heyday, I could throw this harder and make it sleep longer than a Raider. We would have fun in school having like sleeper contests, and it's just one of my favorites, and I'll always love it.
Cool. Hey, Dennis, thanks so much for coming on. That was a lot of interesting comments, and it was good getting to know you a little bit better and some of your yo-yoing history. So we really appreciate you being on the show, and we definitely want to have you back in the future too. So thanks again for coming on.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me, Lucky.
All right, and good luck with the Plymouth Yo-Yo Club. I hope hope some of those Plymouth yo-yo throwers are out there. If you are, check in the comments section and let Dennis know that you've been watching them and cheering them on here.
Yes.
All right, okay, folks, it's now time for our trivia contest. Let's give everybody just a couple of minutes here to sign in. Do we have some people signed in yet, Sean?
Give me 1 second to take a look.
We're gonna
get Dennis all taken care of here. So
okay.
He's, out of our show.
Okay. So just to go over the trivia contest, there's going to be 5 questions. They're multiple choice, so you can always guess. And sometimes you're going to have to guess because the questions can be kind of oddball, I guess. If you were listening carefully to the show, there might be a couple of questions in there that were answered already. So if you've been taking notes, you can think of it as just like a pop quiz at the end of a class. But you're getting me set up here? Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. I got to see what's going on here. So all you have to do is, Sean has posted.
We have 8 in right now.
What's that?
We have 8 people in.
8, that's good. That's good already. Let's see if we can get up to 12 or 15. Sign on in. It's a lot of fun, and it's not painful at all. And we don't make fun of you or too much. If you miss a question, actually, if you miss the really easy ones, we make fun of you. But
Cameraman Sean won't participate tonight.
What's that?
Cameraman Sean will not participate this evening.
Okay, cameraman Sean is not in the building then. So go on and sign in. There's that link. It's fun and it's easy to play. And we're going to give it just a little bit longer. We have been using 30 seconds, and that was pressing, actually reading the question and all the answers. So we're going to go to 45 seconds this show to give you a little bit more time. But keep in mind that when you answer a question, the faster you answer the question, the more points you get. So you can get the exact same number of questions correct, but if the person answers them faster than you, then you are going to get beat by them. And after each question, we will, of course, do the rankings and show who is in the lead up till the very end, and the last question is often the one that decides who the winner is. And again, if you just tuned in and didn't see what you're playing for, we have that Pedro Flores mug. We have a 2001 World Yo-Yo Championship yo-yo. That's a Spintastics yo-yo. And then we also have the 2022 National Championship yo-yo. So if you're into collecting championship yo-yos, it's a really nice prize package, and all these are collectible, and the value keeps going up because they're all dated. So I like dated yo-yos because they always seem to retain their value. So where are we at?
For those, I see there's a few people working on getting in,
Okay.
John Bozong specifically. So the link that I just put in the chat, you can click and it'll take you, and you'll just type your name in and it'll be able to log on to the trivia service website.
So what are you thinking, Sean? 2 more minutes and then we'll get going with the quiz?
Yeah, we'll give it 2 more
Trivia
minutes unless
contest.
somebody comments in the chat that they're
I
having
hate calling it a
difficulty.
quiz because that makes it sound so schoolish. It's a trivia contest.
Trivia,
Think
sorry,
of more of a bar type trivia contest where everybody's having a good time. Not really a pop quiz. That brings back memories of Mrs. Ragland in Algebra 1. I didn't like that. So the trivia contests are always better.
Okay, we got 12.
12, all right. I think that may be a new high for our, as people are seeing the trivia contest, they're getting a little more motivated to join. They realize there's no blood being let, there's no pain involved in joining us. So, and it is fun. And you get a little adrenaline rush when you get that question right. You get that little dopamine surge. It's kind of like the one-armed bandit and you hit those 3 cherries.
Anybody that hasn't signed in has until 10:18 p.m. Eastern
10:18.
time.
So you got about 40 seconds to sign in, or we're getting ready to rock and roll here. So do I need to sign in here, Sean?
Nope, you're good.
I'm good to go. So
It'll start when I start it.
okay.
I will say.
And I will read the first question in about 30 seconds here or so.
Yep. I will say it was great to have Dennis on. Fantastic guest.
Yeah,
Hopefully
Dennis
our
was
audience enjoyed them.
Good guy. And I like people that give back to the yo-yo community. That makes us a stronger community.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and
All right,
start it.
Here we go. We are going live with the trivia contest.
And
Let's see that
skip
countdown. Question.
countdown.
What size of battery did the that should be EL yo use? A battery, double A battery, triple A battery, a button 3 volt CR 2025 battery, or a 9 volt battery? All right. I'm glad we had that 45 seconds because I barely got to read all the answers. And the correct answer is C, a triple A battery. All right. Very good. And we will check out who is now in the scoring column. Oh, wow, we had a lot of misses on that one. Ricky has taken the lead. He answered obviously the fastest. Dano the Mano is in second place, and everybody else is running in third. All right, let's go to the next question. Here we go. What year did Dennis Shatter enter his first yo-yo contest? Oh, that was in the show. 1999, 2000, 2001, 2003. He has never competed, only served as a judge. Which would it be?
And the correct answers are
Here they come. 1999. I believe that was the Cajun Spinner Classic in 1999.
And I will say, we had 5 people get that one right, and the live rankings are...
Woo! Ricky is still hanging. Ricky is still hanging on to that lead. Dennis got the question right. All right. That's good. I'm glad he got it right. But and he got it right quicker than everybody else too. So he did have a little bit of an advantage on that one. All right, on to question number 3. It's starting to get tight here. Starting to get tight. Few people need to get on that scoreboard. Here we go. What year did Pedro Flores run his first yo-yo contest? Historically important. 1918, 1928, 1938, 1948, or he never hosted a contest. He only manufactured yo-yos. Okay. Are you sure that's 45 seconds? It seems like it's blitzing.
Yeah, no, it is. It was set to 45, but for some reason it's only giving us like 15 to 20 seconds. I don't know why.
Okay, well, that's a glitch we'll have to sort out because I feel like I'm reading them fast.
Oh, you are reading them.
Okay, but it doesn't matter how slow I read them. Here we go. Let's see what that correct answer is. 1928. Very good. Let's see how that changed our lineup here. See if Ricky's hanging on there. Ricky is still hanging on there. He's cranking it, man. Man, let's see who answered the fastest on that.
Everybody got on there.
Wow. All right. Now, that makes my heart swell, folks, because I'm into yo-yo history, and I'm happy to see more and more people know what year that first yo-yo contest was run. I will say that who answered that the quickest? It looks like 91. Ricky and Jane tied.
No, hold on.
Yeah, 91 seconds, right?
Dano
No, Dano the Mano at 94.
94 seconds.
94, okay.
And then there's a tie for second with Ricky and...
Yeah. All right, well, Ricky's still in the lead. So let's go on to, is this question 4?
This is question 4.
Question number 4. Okay, we're getting down here where it's getting really tight. Here we go.
And boom.
What city was the 2004 World Yo-Yo Championships hosted? Chico, California, Tokyo, Japan, London, England, Reykjavik, Iceland, and Orlando, Florida. One of those hosted the World Championships in 2004. And let's see who got them right. The answer is Orlando. Of course, Chico hosts the national championships. Tokyo did host a World Championships, but it wasn't in 2004. London, England was the site of presumably the first World Championships. That was in 1934. And Reykjavik was in 2017. So Orlando, Florida was 2004. Let's see how that changed the scores. Ricky is still up there in the lead. Man, is that Rick Rentz?
Yeah.
Oh, Rick Rentz is, man, he is hot tonight. John just moved into second place, it looks like. Just squeaking by Dan. John, which John is that? John Maisharal?
Yes.
John Maisharal is, well, he's still possibly in scoring distance on Rick Rentz, but we will find out in a second.
Rick Rentz only needs to miss one. And,
yeah, miss one, and you drop down about 5 spaces. So,
question, winner takes it all.
Not winner takes it all, but
winner of all the points, I should say.
Everybody's on the scoreboard. I want to say that I'm really happy to see that everybody's scoring points. Okay, here we go. Last question, final question. The Greek ceramic discs found from 500 BC are believed by Lucky Meisenheimer to be what? Yo-yos, Christmas tree ornaments, decorative doorknobs, bobbins, or aribalos? Oh, okay. Well, before we give the answer,
I will say, hold on. You'll be very pleased to see these results.
Okay. All right. That means if I'm pleased to see the results, that's going to be good because that means people were listening. All right. Here we go.
The correct answer is
bobbins. Bobbins. Yes. The aribalos was what was depicted on the Greek vase that was being held by that thong. Decorative doorknobs, they used to call yo-yos spinning doorknobs. That was back when they first hit the United States. Christmas tree ornaments, well, there are yo-yos that are Christmas tree ornaments, but not those Greek ones. And then yo-yos, we know it's not a yo-yo, but these were bobbins that rich Greek women held their string on. So, okay, here we go. Let's see who won.
Boom.
Whoa, Rick Rentz, man, he was on fire tonight. It looks like he's...
Answers.
Yeah, man, this is great. Look at all that. This is great. Man, yeah, good job, guys. Good job. I'm very pleased and very happy to see that. That's still a pretty tight race. If Rick
John
would have just...
Marshall says, Bobbins, more fake news.
yeah. All right. Well, that was fun. So that's pretty much it for Yo-Yo Talk tonight. Just remember, our next episode will be March 2nd. We will have superstar fixed axle player Ed Haponinik on the show. Ed has a plethora of yo-yo videos posted, and I've counted every single one of them, and it's actually 1 zillion. So it's very likely you've seen Ed on social media. We're going to talk to him about fixed axle play and other cool things. So definitely worthwhile turning in to see Ed and chat with Ed. Of course, we'll be announcing who our 3 inductees are in the National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame for 2022. Don't forget to go to the Academy of Yo-Yo Arts and vote. Nationals are June 30th through July 2nd. That's Mesa, Arizona, so keep your eyes open for when the entries open up for that. Keep on collecting, and always remember, you can never have too many yo-yos. This is Doc Lucky signing off until March the 2nd.